And as always, we give peace and salutations unto the elect. Real brief. As you all know, there was a shooting at the Capitol building, which we already know what's up. And if you look at, now they've identified the man who rammed his car into the Capitol Police, killing one. He was identified as Noah Green. Very interesting name. Noah Green. Green was armed with a large blade. When he was shot dead, he identified as a follower of the Black Nationalist Nation of Islam movement. Facebook has immediately deleted his profile. And as I was talking with one of the elders, they usually leave the profile up, but in this case, they deleted his profile off of the internet. But as you can see here, they say he was a follower of the Black Nationalist Nation of Islam movement. And you know who is going to jump all over this is Vocab Malone. All right, and there's another notable agent that has popped back up. Over the last couple of weeks, all right, a black army rises to fight the racist fight. And as we always tell you, the likes of Vocab Malone and a lot of these demons, one of their main agendas is to link the so-called black Hebrew Israelites, all right, to domestic terrorism and Muslim extremists. Now we know this guy right here is a plant, you see, and many of you followed after this guy, because you don't understand your enemy, you don't understand what's going on, all right, you just looking to hear something outside of the truth, you see, and then this guy here, bugged out, and then he started talking about the 12 tribes. He started talking about the Bible, but then when you go into his ideology, he's all over the place. Israelites, he started talking about the 144. So you all should be able to clearly see what the devil is doing without us even going too far into this. All right, he was just recently brought up in the news out of nowhere, where they interviewing his camp, his trainees as they shoot, and many of you Israelites, though they're gonna paint us, as domestic terrorists anyway, many of you help to forward and push that narrative by showing yourselves with guns on videos like that's helped anyone. But anyway, you can read this article, Lord willing. I'll remember to put it in the description box. I'm not going to go too far into it, but a man calling himself Grandmaster J now. What does he call himself? The Black Messiah. Operation Black Messiah. And I remember J. Edgar Hoover, who was a part of that, scheme to destroy Fred Hampton. And they openly in that movie, Judas and the Black Messiah showed you that they do infiltrate, and they openly tell you the wickedness that they do, and they make millions, close to billions of dollars off of the movie, showing you their wickedness, and how much more in this time with this spiritual message do you think they're going to try their hardest and damnedest, to pollute it? Okay, so this guy's a plant. He's all over the place from the get-go. We've warned you all about him. And there were a lot of you coming to our comments defending him. But now, a lot of you have cowered up. Where in the hell are you? See, he's just used to push a narrative. They're not going out there doing anything to Esau. It's just a show. It's just all talk. And that's all niggas do is talk. Now, let me get one scripture and I'm going to close it up because I didn't want to make this too long. This is Psalms Psalms 37 and 14. The wicked have drawn out the sword, and when you deal with the sword, it's more than their actual, sword. Their blessing is the sword. Their tongue is a sword. Their propaganda, their media, their witchcraft. It's a sword. See, piercing people's minds to believe them to think one thing. All right, when they have a whole agenda the whole time. All right, and pretty soon, brothers, that persecution is nigh. Just like Yahushua understood what he had to go through, we should very well understand what we have to go through, and that's the straight gate. We rejoice at prophecies coming to pass, but ultimately, we're of a serious mindset, hoping to be delivered. Hold on, let me put that on airplane mode. I had a feeling someone was going to call, but it says, the wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy, and such as be of upright conversation. You see, but it's not going to work. You see, it's not going to work. Ultimately, they're going to be able to push a narrative. It's going to lead to a lot of persecution. Because even in ancient Rome, when the disciples were out preaching, there came a point where they were like, hell no, we got to get them the hell out of here. Well, we're reaching that point now. See? But the thing that Esau is trying to do is trick, the world, okay, and the Most High into believing that we're carnal. So what he's doing is forming this narrative, and he's been doing it for years, especially heavily over the last about the last 8 years, man. He's been going heavy. You've seen all sorts of, Muslim, Israelite, so-called, terroristic acts, and a lot of them disappear. But no, they're doing these things for a reason, and the camps that are paid off, are doing their job. All right, for the purpose of Esau having means to roll, see, and label us terrorists. All right, that's a part of that sword as well as his physical sword. But their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. See, the Lord is going to destroy your strength. What's your strength ultimately outside of your physical sword is your witchcraft, your ability to lie, your ability to paint narratives and then act upon those narratives. You do this all throughout the four corners of the earth, as to where you'll be able to justify yourself in striking and destroying people based off what you put in the media. You see? But we're going to see if that narrative works against the elect. You see? Because really what's going to happen is we're going to be numbered amongst the transgressors. See, as a matter of fact, when you go in to the book of Isaiah 53, let's see here. Let me read verse 16. A little that a righteous man had is better than the riches of many. So the little we have, which we really have a lot in the form of this truth, is better, and it's going to overcome Esau's whole beast system, his lies, everything. It's going to be overcome through the blood of Yahushua and the word, the testimony that we hold. Now, when you get Isaiah the 53rd chapter, speaking of Yahushua, let's see here.
A light. Right. You're always asking me for a light, so I'll pick you up one.
Let's see here. I know it's in this chapter. He was oppressed, he was afflicted, numbered. I know it's in this chapter, I believe it is, but let me make sure. Yep, I should have kept going. Yep, this is Isaiah 53 and 12. Therefore will I divide him a portion with the great. He shall divide the spoil with the strong. And that's ultimately when he, returns. He's going to have the whole world. You see? under the Most High Yahweh Shah is going to, he's going to fulfill what Adam was to fulfill, but he's going to divide that with his, with the remnant, starting with the 144. See, with the 12 being at the head of that. So we got a lot to look for. It said, and ultimately it was due to his sacrifice that he was given that glory. See, it says, he shall divide the spoil with the strong, because he hath poured out his soul unto death. He did the work. Yahushua did the work, man. It says, and he was numbered with the transgressors, and he bare the sin of many, and made intercession for the transgressors. See? Wow. It's funny how anyone who denies Yahushua, or anyone who's stuck on the this whole Torah only, like, oh man, it's right here. He made intercession for the transgressors, man. He's our intercessor, bringing us back to the Father, but he was numbered with the transgressors, man. Okay? When he was on getting ready, being crucified, who was he numbered with? He was next to a thief, and another Jake who went off. See, one of them repented, but pretty much he was looked at just like the rest of the Zealot groups, because you had Zealot groups around that time. You had the various Zealot groups. The Sakari was one of them. You see, and what happened? They were pretty much fighting to take down the Roman Empire. So what did Nero do? What did Nero do, man? He burned down a region, and what did he blamed it on? The Israelites, the followers of the Messiah. He said, look, when you look at what they're teaching, they're saying that they're gonna, something's gonna burn. They always talk about fire coming in the future. Look, they did this. So they're gonna be able to take aspects of the doctrine. They're gonna be able to take clippings of particular things brothers have said, and it's coming. We know. And those who are innocent are going to be labeled with those who did those acts, or you could be innocent and said something earlier in your walk or whatever, and folly, whatever. They're watching everything, and they're putting together the highlight films, and they're going to play on people's emotions and mind. Look at what Vocab's doing with this whole Sakari Passover situation. They are waiting and watching for anything. Now what the hell you think he's going to do with this? See? But either way it goes, the elect are going to be found guiltless, man. And this is what we hope for. This is what we're crying for. This is what we're fighting for. All right? See, when you do the work, all right, when you do your Father's business, man, it's going to lead to you being upgraded and get the victory. So I just wanted to bring that out. I didn't want to go too deep into it, but as you can see,
see it, experience it.
All sorts of enchantments going out, man. You got Jada Pinkett and her daughter, talking about they like women. This, I mean, it's nonstop, and the so-called black face is at the forefront of everything that they're pushing, man. So with that, hopefully I'll edify them and leave it alone. Give it all praise to Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, Bashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to the elect. Shalom.